Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I thank you for joining in for this first product seminar or webinar as they call it nowadays. We have quite a lot of people already in the room now, about 21 people now in the room. We'll probably wait for a couple of more seconds, probably just about a minute, and inshallah we'll start it then. Before that, let me also tell you that whoever has joined in now, the agenda for this is, the first thing is I'll speak briefly about Islamicly again. Second, what have we achieved in the past couple of weeks, what we have in store in the next couple of weeks. And I will also tell you as to how you can use the desktop product. We will not be able to cover the entire thing today, but yes, we will take you through an overview of the entire desktop version, how it works to our web version, and similarly to our advanced app as well. We are making a lot of changes on that. The entire product team is dedicated to bringing or taking this the entire experience to the next level. What we feel is we have probably the current level at which we feel that it's just about 5% of whatever is planned to be launched. More features coming in. I can't tell you all the features right now, but yes, whatever you see is just about 5 to 10% max of what we have planned. Inshallah, with your support, with the way we are growing, with the way people are joining us, hundreds of people joining us on a daily basis, with the kind of questions that have been posed to us, it is just motivating us to do better. It is just motivating us to encouraging us to do much better. Let's start. Very few words about what Islamicly is and what we are trying to achieve. Islamicly is a portal through which retail investors, individual investors can get ready, well-researched access to compliant status of every stock in the world. Islamicly gives you, the first level is whenever you search a stock in your local market, it will tell you whether it's Sharia compliant or it's not Sharia compliant. Now, how do we tell you this? Is by doing thorough research. Is our research credible? We follow our Sharia criteria, which is followed by the S&P as well, followed by Dow Jones as well, followed by quite a lot of people in the world. The same criteria is what we follow. Our criteria is developed by our Sharia scholars who have been with us for quite a long time. You must have seen on our website and as well as in the app who our Sharia scholars are. You would have even listened to the video. It's available on the Islamicly channel on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type islamicly.com, and you will get to our YouTube channel. There are quite a lot of videos. Inshallah, we'll make more videos and put it up over there. So Islamicly is a tool through which you can figure out which stock is Sharia compliant and which stock is not Sharia compliant. That's level one. Level two is once you go inside that stock, you will also be able to see whether it passes what criteria or it fails which criteria. So a stock to be Sharia compliant, it has to pass a sector screening plus the accounting ratios, which are debt, cash, and account receivables. Debt should be less than 33% to market cap. Cash should also be same, that is 33% to market cap. Accounts receivables could be 49% to market cap. The market cap that we use is 33 months average. That means it's a stable base at which we assess the Sharia compliance. If you see this, the pandemic that we are in today has led to a lot of prices of stocks falling down, but not many stocks have changed their compliance because the market cap is falling. That means it's a stable ratio through which we can assess the financial ratios of companies. So you can see that whether the cash is passing or the debt is passing or the account receivables is passing. You can even see the sector compliance, whether it's sector compliant or not. Apart from that, you can also see the purification just below that stock. If the stock is Sharia compliant, you can see the purification of that stock. That is whenever you receive a dividend from any company, just input that over there and you can instantly see how much you need to purify. So the app automates that part of your job as well. In the history also, if you've received some dividends in the history as well, you can select that historical date and also figure out what was the historical dividend purification that you had to do. So that's a couple of features over there. In addition to that, to monitor the stocks, so Shariah compliance, because I said that it's related to market cap. As prices fall and as prices increase, if the sector of the company is compliant, a stock can even then change from compliance to non-compliance, or from non-compliant it can become compliant because of the movement in prices. Now, having said that, how do you monitor that? A very simple way of doing it is adding that stock into a portfolio. You can add that stock into a portfolio very, very simply. You can add hundreds of stocks in a portfolio. You can create hundreds of portfolios on the app as well as on the desktop version. On a daily basis, the data gets refreshed. So we are committed to refreshing the data on a daily basis. That is, we update the daily basis prices. Any new financial which has come in gets updated on a daily basis, and your stocks are monitored for compliance on a daily basis. When I say daily basis, we do it 5 days a week, because Saturday and Sunday, there's usually no trading across the world. Hence, prices are not available. Having said that, once you add a stock into your portfolio, you'll be able to figure out if any change happens. So at 12 noon, your local times around the world, you get a notification that there are 2 notifications that you get. If there is a change in compliance in your stocks, you get a notification on the app. If there is a stock which has become compliant, which was there in your watch list, you also get a notification for that. In your market itself, you get a notification as well that how many stocks have changed compliance overall in your market. So changes in your portfolio, changes in your market, any stock which was in your watch list or you held it previously in your portfolio, if it becomes compliant, you get a notification of that as well. So that's how the entire thing works on Islamicly. This is just the base of it. Let me speak a little bit more about how credible we are. Can you guys trust us? Is anybody looking at the research, or is just getting past? I can say that we've been doing this research for a large number of asset managers globally who manage stocks in an Islamic manner. We've been doing it for one of the largest index providers in the world, having a huge amount of market share. So we can very, very comfortably say that our research is ingested into asset managers and they are using it to manage the Shariah compliant portfolios. In addition to that, all our methodologies are vetted by the Sharia scholars. If there is any issue with a particular stock, if we do not have the opinion from the Sharia scholars, it goes back to the Sharia scholars, a discussion happens on that, and then we make the assessment over here. So, for example, companies like very recently, we had this question regarding Moderna, right? Whether the treatment of operating interest is separate from treatment of non-operating interest income. The whole process is vetted by the Sharia scholars. Not only our Sharia scholars who sit in even bigger boards, Sharia scholars who are part of large index providers, Sharia scholars who were part of AOFI standard setting body. We've asked them also. So we've got access to those Sharia scholars as well, alhamdulillah. And we asked them. So any research that you see on the Islamicly app is vetted by the Sharia scholars. There is no way that the executive over here or the research analyst over here makes his own assessment. Yes, if the rule is clear, using that rule, we make an assessment. But if the rule is not available, or we haven't looked into it earlier, or it's a new kind of a company, if it's a new kind of a business model, we will have to get back to the Sharia scholars and get an opinion. Like very recently, you've seen all of these Bitcoin-based stocks getting listed. It is something which is a newer area. Yes, we've had a discussion about Bitcoins earlier in our Sharia board, but this specific structure of that company needs to be discussed with the Sharia scholars. Hence, we've said that we will keep it non-compliant for now, and we will go back to the Sharia scholars, ask them for an opinion, and get back to you. Sorry. So that's the way we are doing it. That's the principle that we follow. So we have a Sharia Scholars Board in hand. We have an experienced team which has been doing research for quite a long time. More than 10 years, people have been doing research, individual researchers who are there in a team. We've got a dedicated technology team as well, which has come up now, which is intending to bring to you such tools through which you can manage your Sharia compliant portfolios in a very simple manner. The last thing I will want to say before I move on to the demo part is you must be very eager to invest in Sharia compliant stocks. Believe me, using Islamically and using your broker, your local broker, is the cheapest way in which you can manage your Sharia compliant portfolios. If you go to an asset manager, you might have to pay about 1 to 1.5% initially itself as fees to a Sharia compliant portfolio manager. If you go to any of these modern day technology-based, app-based asset managers, automated advisory, robo-advisory people, again, over there, you will be charged about 0.70%. That's 70 bips. If you are trading yourself using a broker platform, usually brokers charge 2 to 3 bips on every trade. In addition to that, you may have to take a monthly, quarterly, or an annual subscription of Islamically, which we have priced it very, very low, believe me. In addition to that, to encourage a lot of people, we keep giving discount codes. Yes, in a bit, I'll display the discount code as well that you can use and subscribe. It is the cheapest way in which you can manage it, your Sharia compliant portfolio. So I would encourage a lot of people who are still in the on the fence that is Islamically a very expensive option? Should I go with a mutual fund broker? Should I go with a robo advisory firm? If you have the skills, if you think that you can put money into stocks into yourself, then Islamically plus your broker is the best option. That's a few words about how you can use Islamically. Apart from that, we give you a lot of tools using which you can manage stuff. Let's jump on to the demo part. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, keep putting the questions on the chat window itself. I have enabled the chat window. If you have any questions during this thing, you can start putting them. I can see I have quite a few questions already from a lot of people. I will take these questions, inshallah, at the end of the session. Definitely, all the questions are there. I'll inshallah take care of all the questions. Inshallah, let's get to the demo part, so that a lot of people might not know, because it's all logged up, because it's all a paid versions have come in now. I would give you access now to see what is the desktop version for today. Inshallah, in the next week, we'll probably do the app version demo as well. I will give you a sneak peek of the live version of what the desktop is, and if you like it, inshallah, you can go ahead and subscribe to it. If you have any questions about that, we can take it, inshallah, at the end of this session. Very, very simply, how can you log in to Islamically desktop version? Either you can open up the app, and I'll just open up the app. The app is opening up, and you can log in from the app itself. Very, very simply. If you go to your profile section over here and click on login to Islamically Web, it opens up. You hit allow taking pictures. It opens up a QR scan reader. You just have to take this and scan it on your computer. It should be able to log you in. That's one way of logging in. If you don't want to do that, you can log in using a username password as well. I will show you how to do that. Let me log on to the URL is www.islamicly.com. That website also has quite a few information which you can go through. It has a video of our Sharia scholars. It has a video of how things work at our end and stuff like that. Let me start sharing my screen. There you go, it's preparing. And the screen is shared now. Yep. Very simply, this is the website wherein I'll just check if my screen is visible to others. Okay, so you got to come to this this portal. Over here on the top right, you've got a logo. You click on this. Either you scan your app over here, as I said initially, or you input your email ID and login over here. Just sign in, and you are inside the desktop version. If you already have, let's go to the US markets. A lot of people are online today from the US markets, hence I'll take that. And this is your default screen, right? On the left-hand side, you have the dashboard, which is the current screen that you see. That is the dashboard. You have a section called Portfolio, wherein you can keep track of all your portfolios. You have a section called Universe. This is a scrapbook. Any request that you have given on the app is here. All the forum discussions can be seen over here. The articles that we publish can be seen from here. This is the help and chat function. We haven't put a lot of content over here, but yes, if you want to have a chat with us, you can click on this and you can instantly get online. Now, this widget will tell you your market and the compliance by number of stocks, which this will instantly tell you that. If you have subscribed to only one market, this will be static. Since I have access to all the markets, this keeps scrolling. This is a map view as to how many stocks are compliant, so that you get an idea. So just about, if you see 35% stocks or 30% stocks are Sharia compliant and 1909 stocks are Sharia compliant in your market, that's the United States. If you have made some holdings, you can instantly see what your holdings are, how many stocks you have, what is the value, what percentage increase in your value has happened, and what is the exact value of your holdings. So this is the value of your holdings, and this is the changes in your value in the holdings value. So it has increased by 5.79 million, and my holding value is 9.74 million rupees. This currency you can change and make it into your own currency. This part is the alerts. So as you can see over here, Amazon Inc. has turned non-compliant. So I had previously checked what Amazon's compliance was. Hence, this shows me. I had previously checked the compliance of Bank of America Corp. It now says that has turned non-compliant. So these are alerts which are customized to you. So you can see these alerts instantly. This is again a widget through which you can see what are today's changes. So as I can see in today, the changes have been TGL has changed to become non-compliant. The Trans Global Energy Corporation has become non-compliant, and you can see it instantly in the dashboard. Over here, let me bring up US. Yeah, as you can see, the top 5 Sharia compliant stocks are mentioned over here. So this is sorted by market cap. So Apple, being the biggest market cap amongst the Sharia compliant stocks, comes up first. There's followed by Microsoft, followed by Google, followed by Facebook, and then you've got BABA, which is probably Alibaba. That's how you can see things. Okay, right now you can also see based on gainers. So you can see top 5 Sharia compliant gainers in the market that you're subscribed to. I'll bring up the United States market. Yes. So these are the top 5 Sharia compliant gainers. So today, based on market cap, based on percentage increase. So wow, Energy Focus Inc. has increased by 400% today. Apple Green Holdings has also increased by this percent. And these are all the things. If you click on view, you can see these. As of now, when you click on these, we are taking you to all the gainers. Hence, we are making a change in this. So once you click on this, these will appear first, and then the other gainers will come in. Similarly, we have top 5 Sharia compliant losers over here, and you can see which are the Sharia compliant losers over here. Any stock discussions in your market, this is the widget which tells you the discussions which is happening in your market. So somebody has asked us that BMY Healthcare details should provide why a stock is non-compliant. I mean, he's asking a question, and inshallah we'll answer. And as you can see, nobody has answered this question as of now. Rosa A Energy, I couldn't understand. He's asking this question. You can view all the questions over here as well once you click on view. In addition, you can add more widgets. If you see, there are so many widgets available, and all widgets will be available in page 2. If you see on top, you've got page 1, page 2, page 3. You can see all the widgets available over here. So and you can create more widgets as well. So you can see all these widgets. You can take whichever widgets is important for you and keep it in your page 1, page 2, page 3. How do you do that? You can click over here on the, if you can see, reallocate widgets on your right. You click on this, you see this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3. And you can move it around. Okay, so compliance by number, overall portfolio performance. If I move it over here, it comes over here. So overall portfolio performance has come to page 1, right? Now let's go back and see if it has come to page 1. It's getting refreshed, and it should have come by now. See, this is the one I was talking about. So it has come up over here. If you want to order it also, you want this to be here and this one to be here, you can also select the order. You can reallocate widgets and you can move it over here. So if the overall portfolio was the 4th widget, if I want it to be the 3rd widget, you can pull it up and bring it over here. It's as simple as that. And it will get refreshed. As you can see, this is the fourth widget over here. It has become the 3rd widget over here. So you can move around and play around with this. Whichever makes it comfortable, you can do it that way. If you're getting too confused and you want to use the default settings, you can go back to reset widget to default, which we have placed it in such a manner that it becomes a standard thing. So it asks you, are you sure you want to reset your widget? And you confirm. It will reset your widgets accordingly. So whatever is the most relevant information, you can keep it over here. On your right hand side, if you see recently visited stock, we'll all keep on scrolling over here. And there is a scroll up and down. You can keep moving around that. So you can keep stock, like for example, very recently I went to Nikola Corporation, and I know today is down by 6.94%, and the price is this, and it's compliance. If you see the green tick over here, the green thumbs up, it means it's compliant. This is non-compliant. This is non-compliant. This is non-compliant, and Wipro is Shariah compliant. And all of these can be monitored this way, right? On the top, you can see the tickers going on. So this ticker will consist of all the stocks in your access market. Very, very simple. These are all the stocks in your access market. Green means compliant and red means non-compliant. Unlike your broker platform, wherein green would mean gainers and red would mean losers, we don't follow that because this portal is a Sharia compliance or not portal. So red means non-compliant, green means it's compliant. As you can see, this stock in India, okay, it is down by 2.65%, but it's green because it's Sharia compliant. You got my point? So that's how it is. So this is the dashboard. So you can start creating things. You can start putting things inside this dashboard the way you want it. Okay. Now let's go to the first thing that you want to do. If you come on the desktop, the first thing that you do is you search your stocks. So you can search it from top over here, as you can see, or you can search it from the universe. So let's say you click on the universe. So universe will consist of all the stocks in your access market, whether compliant or non-compliant. It's taking a bit of a time to load. Grab some water. So this is how it is done. Not sure why it's taking so much time to load. Is my internet not fast enough today? Yes. So we have our universe. Oh, frick, it got refreshed because I had refreshed it in the middle. Yes. Now, if you see, these are all the stocks in your universe. So if the access market, you need to just select the access market from top. My internet is too slow today. I'll go to United States and instantly I get all the stocks from United States. It will get refreshed and I'll be in United States access market. Please do hang on. After, in the middle of this, I will show you the discount code. If you're not subscribed, you can see the discount code. It's applicable only from now till 1 hour of the end of this thing. So whatever is your local time, so it's basically 2.5 hours from now. It will be available. It's too slow today. So please do hang on. Yeah, so you can see all the stocks over here, and this is the universe. So this is Amazon. You can see it's what's the full name of the company, what sector it is in, the pricing of the stock, whether it has increased or decreased from last close. You do not have any holdings in this stock, and it's non-compliant. The second stock is Apple, and this is all sorted by market cap. It's the full name is Apple. It's this in technology, USD. This is the price. You have a holding in this. What is the percentage increase in your holding, and it's compliant or not? Plus, the tile itself will have a red line below or a green line below. If it's a red line below, it's non-compliant. If it's green line below, it's compliant. That's how it is. You have certain filters over here, which is my interest. That would mean any stock you visited previously. You can see that in one shot itself in my interest. Recommendations based on your previous activity. So based on your interests, we have sorted more stocks which could be of your interest. Today's changes. So once you come to the universe, you will figure out what are the today's compliance changes. You can click on this and then you can get there. And what is the entire universe of Shariah compliant stocks? This number is not correct. I'll have it checked anyway. Now, this is the tile view. You can keep scrolling down and see things. If you don't like to see the tile view, you can even see the list view. Now, if you see on the right, I'm circling things wherever my cursor is. You can click on the list view and the list view will appear. Let me click on that. And your list view will appear. Because I'm sharing my screen, it might come slightly slower to you. So please do bear with me. And this is the list view. As you can see, now Amazon, Apple, the same thing. So we have the ticker, the name of the stock, what sector it is in, what exchange it is in, the unit price, the unit currency, the price of the stock, the percentage increase or decrease of it. If you have a holding, it will show the holding. So I don't have a holding in Berkshire Hathaway. That's why it's NA. I have a holding in Apple. That's why it's showing me a price. It's compliant and the other ones are non-compliant. It also shows you how many portfolios this stock is in. Right? Now, if you want to follow this stock, you can just simply click on and it will tell you that you're following this stock. It becomes yes. Right? As you can see, if I click on this, I'm following this. If you don't want to stop following, you just click on this, it stops getting followed. Follow would mean that it doesn't come in your portfolio, but if there is any change happening in that stock from compliant to non-compliant or non-compliant to compliant, it will give you an alert on the app. So you can instantly see that this stock is available. Now, this is the list view. Now, if you want to sort it further, if you see the reverse pyramid on top next to the universe, there is an advanced filter option over here. You click on that, you get an advanced filter option. By market, if you have multiple market access, you can select that. If you don't have multiple market access, no problem. It will be on a default market. I take the United States market as my default market. Let's say I want to see, and you can select by sector. Let's say I want to go and select by healthcare services. I can do by that. I want to see all Shariah compliant stocks in healthcare services. You can even search by return range, by price, by performance. So by price could be a range as well, or you can give a max value. You can search by loser or gainer. I'm just searching by the United States, healthcare sector, and all Shariah compliant stocks. Let's click on confirm, and I should get a list. It's building the view. I see a lot of questions coming in. Thank you for all the questions. I will wrap this up in about 15-20 minutes, and inshallah we will dedicate a good amount of time on all the question and answers to clarify all your doubts. So just hang on, and remember, we will also show you a discount code which is applicable for only 2.5 hours from now. After the 2.5 hours, it will expire. So as you can see, all the healthcare sectors have come in now. All of them have come in now. As simple as that. You got my point? As simple as that, and you can do even more filters. Now, even if I go back to the universe now, the default settings, and I want to search something, so I can search by stock, or by name, or by ticker as well. So let's say I want to search a stock which is Amazon. I just type Amazon and click enter, and it will show me Amazon. Okay, AMZN is a ticker, and I click OK, and it should show me Amazon. Okay, it's acting funny, but nonetheless, I'll just go to my universe. And see the entire universe. So now let's say I want to search for Facebook. Okay, I just say Facebook, and I click enter, and I get Facebook. Okay, now if I click on this, I enter the stock detailed portfolio. This is the stock page. Now, as you can see, the entire green look of this would mean this is Shariah compliant. So in March till May, it was Shariah compliant. I'll explain you more about the graph in a bit. This would mean overall compliance state is compliant. If you want to check what is the screening criteria, you can click over here. You can get to the screening criteria. It also shows you that it passes the business sector activity, it passes the debt, it passes the cash, it passes the receivables. If you want to see what does business activity mean, you can click on this and you can read a little bit as to what does the business activity screening mean. What is the debt compliance factor? You can see that for a company to pass the debt compliance ratio, total interest-bearing debt over its 3-year market average capitalization should be less than 33%. It tells you that same for cash compliance and same for receivables. I'll come back to this later. You can see a short description over here about the entire stock. If you click on view more, you get a long description about the stock. We're going to further enhance this description as well to give you more relevant information. Inshallah, that work is on. I'll speak a little bit more a little later. Now, this is another very interesting thing, the compliance risk rating. If you see this compliance risk rating is 0% for the stock. Compliance risk rating would mean the probability of the stock changing compliance in near future due to its financial ratio movement. That would mean that if the compliance risk ratio is 0% over here, that would mean that it has absolutely no risk of it changing compliance in a quarter or in 6 months from a financial ratio perspective. But let's say tomorrow Facebook starts a non-compliant business activity and it discloses that in its next quarter report, then it can become non-compliant, because we will review that information and will update the sector compliance. So this is not based on sector compliance. This is based on financial compliance. That is debt ratio, debt compliance, cash compliance, and receivables compliance. That means this stock has a very little probability of changing compliance because of its ratios. It's a very stable stock from a compliance perspective as well. Now, let's say you want to invest in this stock. You can't do it over here, but you want to add holdings on this stock. You can just click on this part, add holdings. You can add holding. Let's say you want to add 100 stocks. It fetches the current price. If your buy price is different, so this is the current price of it. If your buy price was different, let's say your buy price was $200, you just say confirm, and it shows you that you have the 100 shares in this now. That means you would have invested USD $20,000. That's 20K. Your average cost is 200 because it's dividing these two together. Your current value is USD 22.44, and your increase in value is 2.4K or 12.22%. Is an increase in your value. Now, if you want to purify any dividend received from this stock, you have to click on purify. Okay. Let's say today I get a dividend from this stock. I click on this. Okay, let me take the 1st of Jan. Okay. And then see if I received a dividend. Let's say I received a dividend of $1,000 from this stock. You will get that the purification is 1.17%. That means 1.2% on a rounded off basis has to be purified. The purification amount out of $1,000 that you receive dividend is $12. Got it? So this is how you do purification as well. On your right hand side, you can say, okay, a user has said that I need to speak a little slowly. I'll do that as well. On the right hand side of your stock, you can see that how many portfolios of yours this stock is part of, number of people on Islamicly that have put this in their portfolio. So this looks like a popular stock. 371 people have put this. You can't see who have done it, but you can see that 371 people have put this in their portfolios. There are 3 discussions related to this stock, and you can see those discussions right away over here. So there are 3 discussions started. So Muhammad bin Ashraf Sayyid has asked a question about this. Mr. Abdul Rahman has also asked a question about this, and there are 42 comments on this. There are 41 comments on this. 0 people have liked this. 1 person has liked this. Like Rahul Raj has asked a question. Facebook contains improper images of humans, improper discussions, how it became Shariah compliant. So you can view this answer, and 78 people have said something about this. If you want to ask a question regarding this stock, you can simply click over here and start a new discussion. Can you see where I did click? On the bottom right, you can see start new discussion, right? I'll probably make this as my screen a little smaller so you can see it properly. So you have a start new discussion over here, and you can click on this and start a discussion. So it's regarding Facebook. You can enter this heading, you can write a description, and you can confirm. Your discussion will come up over here. People will also be able to comment on it, as well as we will also comment on it. So we monitor all these discussions and we comment on it as well. So that's how it functions. Now in this graph, if you see the entire graph is green, that means from Feb, March, April, and May, it was all through, it was Shariah compliant. If you see red patches in this graph, that means those parts were periods of non-compliance. Okay, I'll probably try and bring up an example of that. I don't remember any stock which has that kind of a thing as of now. Probably I'll get there in a bit. So this is how detailed we have given things over here. Now, in addition to this, we will also give you more examples as to how this 1.2% has come up. We will disclose this calculation as well in the future. We will also tell you that how did we come at business sector activity to have passed, whether all the companies revenues are less than 5%, which are in terms of non-permissible revenues, or it has any tainted revenue. We will start disclosing that information as well, because we have tons of research available with us. We just have to input that into Islamicly app and Islamicly desktop for you to get benefit on. As we said, Islamicly believes in transparency. The forums have been opened up. This discussion forum has been opened up so that you can also tell us if we have missed to see something. You can challenge our assessment, and we will be more than happy to review the stocks basis your challenge and come back with a fresher compliance so that the entire community gets benefited out of it as well. So keep participating in these things and keep asking us questions. Another unique feature that we have is history. A lot of people would have invested in stocks before they had access to Islamicly, or before they knew it was Sharia compliant or not. You can include, you can okay, some people are trying to help me as well. So there's an STXS will give you 2 colors. So let's try STXX. Okay. Before that, I'll just go to finish my discussion about view history. So let's say you have invested in Facebook about 5 years back, okay, or 2 years back, or 6 months back, and you don't know whether 6 months back it was Sharia compliant or not, because right now it's compliant, but at that point in time, whether it was Sharia compliant or not, you can instantly view it by clicking on view history, right? We have given you a list-wise information right now. Inshallah, in a couple of weeks, we'll give you a graph over here. We'll give you a date format over here as well, from where you can select a date and see whether it was compliant on that date or not. This is the level 1 that we give right now. So if you scroll down, you can see these dates changing. So on 29th November 2019, it was still compliant. So Facebook has traditionally been compliant, which is absolutely no problem. So 15th November 2018, it was also compliant. So the history goes back. If you can see, we've got massive amount of history. 2017 also we've got a history. See, I'm highlighting that for you. 2017 also it was compliant. This is because we have been covering these stocks. So this is also proof of the pie that we have been initiating coverages on all these stocks for quite a long time. Hence, we've been able to get this information. STXX, STXS. I search for it. So if you see STXX, if I click on this, I did brilliant. So our user who has helped us on this is Brother Aslam. Brother Aslam seems to be a very pro user of Islamicly, hence he remembers all of this. So if you see, this stock was non-compliant in this period, hence the graph is red. And then it became compliant, hence the graph is green from there. It could be because of any reason. It could be because of pricing, or it could be because of his business activity passing. So I'm not sure why this became compliant, but any which way, if you also click on view history, as you can see, all of this is green currently. And if you go down, you can see the reds have started coming in. So you know exactly what date it was became non-compliant or it became compliant. Let's begin this. So on 7th March 2020, it was non-compliant. And then there's 2 days of weekend in the middle. And from 10th March 2020, it became compliant. Okay. Now the spelling is wrong. I'll get it corrected. No problem. It became compliant. So you can see exactly how and when it became compliant as well. All right. Now, one more important thing that I want to show you is your portfolio. Okay. Now let's assume we do not have a portfolio. Okay. Forget these are the and if you have created a portfolio, this is how it will look like. Okay. So this is the created date on top. So 10th June 2020, I've created a portfolio. I have named it at my colleague's behest. I was giving him training. So it's called Shahrukh Test. So Shahrukh also mans our customer support. So since I was giving him training, I created a portfolio for him. Shahrukh will be able to answer all your questions. He's always available. And please feel free to get in touch with him on the customer support as well for all your customer support queries. This will tell you that this portfolio has 17 stocks in it. I've invested 5.44 million in this, I hope. And the currency is INR. You can change the currency as well. Out of that, 8 stocks are compliant. Rest all are non-compliant. Yeah, and that's how you can see the donut. The change in value is 5.98 million from the time I invested. Okay. As you can see, my present value is 11.42. My present value is 11.42. So I invested 5.4. I'll still go back. I'll still be back before I come into the portfolio. So my invested value is 5.44 million. My current value is 11.42 million, and the change is 5.98 million. Okay, and the increase in portfolio performance is plus 109.83%. Right now, you can manage stocks from here directly. You can delete this portfolio if you think it's a useless portfolio. It'll ask you once before. So, are you sure you want to delete this? I say cancel for now. Now, if you click anywhere on this, you will enter your portfolio. Okay. It's entering my portfolio. So this is how you enter your portfolio. The top bar, if you see the cursor, will give you the details of how it is. We'll talk about the bottom bar a little later. Before that, I'll go to the portfolio. If you do not have any portfolios over here, just click on create new portfolio from top. Okay. Now you've got 2 options. Either you can upload an Excel file onto it, right? Or you can add stocks manually. Uploading option, I will let it be for the next AMA or the next webinar, which will happen every Saturday. Don't worry about that. As of now, I'll go for add stocks manually. So what it brings me, it brings me my universe in my access market. My access market is United States. It brings me my universe in a list format. Okay. Now you can either search for the stock that you're looking for on top, or you can scroll down. All right. Now, let's say I want to add 10 cent into my thing. So just click on the selection bar over here. I want to add Toyota Motor Corp, and I want to add Novo Nordisk. Okay. I can see the ticker, the name, the sector, the exchange, the currency, and the pricing. Now, since these are a couple of them will be ADRs, hence the currency may be a little different, and it's compliant or not. And you can see in how many portfolios you have this stock. So as of now, I have it in 0 portfolio, hence it's showing 0. And I have to click on review and submit. I click on this, it will sort these stocks together. Now, we should be sure that I want to add these stocks. If I don't want to add, let's say, for example, 10 cent, I can delete it from here. It gets deleted. So I have Toyota Motor Corp and Novo Nordisk, which I want to add. Add all stocks to the portfolio. Now, either I can create a new portfolio or select my portfolio from here. Since I've come in from create new portfolio, it will ask me to see the portfolio. Okay, so I'll write it demo of 13th June. Okay, confirm. As you can see, this portfolio has got created. Demo of 13th June. One stock is compliant and the other is non-compliant. Since I have not added any holdings, I'm not getting any value, right? So let me try and add holdings to it. I click on it. So I'm still on demo 13th June stock. I can change the name of this portfolio also by clicking on the edit button over here, and it asks me to enter new name. I don't want to do that. Can you see this? Edit. You can rename the portfolios also. You can see that out of 2 stocks, 1 is compliant. Total invested is NA because I've not input any holding values, right? Now let's add a holding. So I can see my portfolio stocks is this. These 2 have been added. If you see, I will highlight this where I am. I'm here. Okay. So I can see Novo and TM is added over here. These are the recommended stocks in the portfolio basis, healthcare and consumer cyclical businesses. I can scroll from here also and keep adding stocks. All right. Now over here, I have an alert as well. What is the alert? The alert is, since Toyota Motor Corp is non-compliant, it gives me an alert that Toyota Motor Corporation has turned non-compliant. We recommend you please clear your positions immediately. So you have to clear your positions immediately. Correct? So it will always tell you what the alerts are. Now, if you want to add more stocks in this, you can do that. Now you can filter it by compliant stocks. You will see only compliant. You can filter it by non-compliant stocks. You will see only non-compliant stocks. Okay, compliant stocks or all. Okay, if you click on compliant stocks, it will show you only compliant stocks. If you click on non-compliant stocks, it will show you non-compliant stocks only. All right. Now you have a grid view over here, and you have a list view as well. So choose whatever you want. You want to add more stocks directly inside the portfolio, you can add it from the bar itself on top. Add stocks. So click on this. It will ask you whether you want to add manually or from an Excel. You can go there. It will again open up your universe, right? You want to add Netflix, add Netflix. Map stocks, and Netflix has been added. Now if you click on non-compliant stocks, it will show you Netflix also as a non-compliant stock. Now as you can see over here, you have two alerts now. Right? If I scroll, Toyota Motor was non-compliant. Now Netflix is also non-compliant. So if you see, there's a bar on the top, on the right, so you can see that there are two alerts available in your things, and you can see it written over here as well that there are two alerts on top. You can see two alerts, so you can't miss it. Just scroll down and up, you will see both these stocks. As simple as that, right? Now let's try and add holdings. So Novo Nordisk Healthcare, I am here. I'll just highlight it. I'm here. Okay. You see this plus button under holdings? I'm highlighting holdings. See the plus button over here? You click on the plus button and you can add holdings. So let's say I have 100 stocks in this. The current price is 64.42. Let's say I've invested in this at 60 previously, and I can confirm. So it will multiply already. So 6.4K becomes the holding. And if you can see on top, 6K USD is my invested amount. My current value as per current market price is 6.4K over here. And the changes have been $442. Simple as that. It gets updated over here. Now on a daily basis, now if I go to my dashboard, I can see my portfolio on the dashboard itself. It's getting refreshed. All that data has got updated already over here. And if I go to my second page, because I'm not put it in the first page as of now. We will start the question answer session very soon. I'm almost done with this demo for today. I'll cover more topics later, inshallah. If you see, this is the thing. So these are performance of your portfolios. So you can see portfolio 1, the overall compliance. So overall, I have only 10 compliant stocks. This is overall. If I click right, okay, it shows me portfolio by portfolio. So demo of 13 June has 1 stock compliant. That means just about 25% stocks are compliant and the rest is non-compliant. I can see my test name 1 portfolio as well, and the other portfolio I hold. So I can see it one shot itself, what's happening. Clear? So that's the one of the key things. Now, scrapbook is something wherein you can upload your universe, download your file from the stockbroker and upload it. Okay, just keep trying this thing. Okay, it works beautifully over here. But since we have since we want to get all the questions started, I think an hour is up in terms of the demo. So I've started giving you the basics. Now you have my request over here, wherein if you do not find a stock in our screening universe, you can start or raise a new request from here. Okay, so my request. Whenever your request has been answered, you will see the answer over here itself. So the tile will appear. So keep checking this part. Any questions that you want to ask, any forum discussions you want to get into, the forum discussions are here. All the forum discussions are here. Any stock related discussion can also happen over here. Okay, you can see all stock related discussions are over here. I click on it and it should all appear in a bit. They have come up. Okay, you can click on it as well. If you want to start a new discussion, click on the right hand side and you can see the start new discussions as well on it. You want to read the couple of articles that we keep publishing. So we have a couple of articles. I published an article for about Moderna, Shariah Compliant stocks in Pakistan. Can preference for halal stocks change the status of halal industry? There's a lot of content over here. Inshallah, we'll keep building more content. And this page is going to become even more friendly. Help and chat. This page as of now is blank, but we will have all the videos that we keep producing for, yes, it's telling you how the functionalities of things will function. We will have it over here. And this is where you can ask us for help. We are here. So if I click on this, and let's see if somebody can help me. I put my thing. Let's see if somebody responds. I say I need help. So let's see if somebody responds. This is a live demo. I have logged into the device itself. So if you see, our customer support champion, Mr. Shahrukh Bipari, has come online and he is typing something. Yes, brother, tell me, how can I help you? Nothing. I just wanted to know if you are alive. There you go. So that's how you chat. And let's not waste a lot of time. Let's go back to the dashboard. So anything that you don't understand on the portal, you have any query, you can come on the chat and put it. Now, this chat is essentially for technical support and billing support. Inshallah, we will also add research support on the chat function as well down the line as we have more resources available. If you have any issue with the research, the best tools to do, let me come back, is you put my request options on research stuff, or over here, you can go to the forum and post stuff. Anything stock related, you can post it on the stock related discussion page. Sorry. I recommend that you use the chat function over there for technical support. So that brings me to the end of today's thing. There are a lot more things. Just keep trying things over here. Let's say, for example, one more thing I can tell you is instantly if you see some stock over here which gets your eye, okay? So let's see SEPL. Just click on it, okay? And you get that stock instantly over here. You can see its compliance and non-compliance, see the entire details over here. Anything, wherever you click on it, it should show you that market. As simple as that. So let's start taking questions now. So I'll stop my screen sharing. Yes. So we've got a couple of people who have sent me a lot of questions, and inshallah I'll take them one by one. Let's start from the initials. Couple of questions are private, so I'll answer them individually through email. We have all these questions written down. So Muhammad says, is intraday trading permissible? Okay, Muhammad, couple of things. First, if you go to the app or the desktop, there are so many questions on the forum which we have answered about intraday trading. Let me bring some of them up and you can see that what is the answer on intraday trading. Let me start sharing my screen again so that you know where and what I'm talking about. If you see on the forum section, people have asked me intraday trading. If anyone could help me out, I'll just expand the screen a little bit so that your view also gets better. So Mr. Sufyan has asked me intraday trading question. People can also reply. So this is a user. Wasim Ali is a user who's replied something. And this is what we have replied. So all of this information is already available on the app. So you don't have to worry about waiting for the AMA to get your answers. Okay. In short, we've also sent you email in April that intraday trading is permissible subject to certain rules. So I will very quickly go through it. If you buy first and sell later, intraday trading is permissible. If you buy first and sell later using leverage, which is interest-free, that is also permissible, right? Now, there are a couple of things which go in detail that I get stock in delivery in T+2, D+3. I technically don't own the stocks. I don't want to get into details as of now. You can read all of that on the forum section over there. There are many detailed answers over there. And inshallah, very soon we'll write a detailed paper on this and send it to everybody as well on the app, where you can see why intraday trading is permissible. This is not our opinion. This is the scholar's opinion. Anything which I say is not my opinion. Unless and until I say it that it's my opinion, it's not my opinion. Whenever I answer a question, I answer it basis the knowledge and the question answer sessions that we've had with the scholars and the discussions we've had with the scholars. We are just a medium of exchanging information from the scholars to you on a mass level through Islamicly as a platform. Okay. Aslam is again asking, Brother Aslam, that can you add details of what made a stock non-compliant as additional info? As of now, you can see all the 4 sectors as you can see as you could see in the demo. So we are clearly saying that is it because of the sector or because of the ratios, is it's failing or it's passing. In addition to that, if the ratios are nearer to the threshold, we have the compliance risk ratio factor over there, which helps you understand if the compliance risk ratio is high. That means the ratios are closer to the border of threshold. That means, let's say, for example, debt ratio is 33% threshold. The company's debt ratio is 32%. So compliance risk ratio will be very high. That means it is highly likely to change its compliance from being 32 to it can go to 33 and then become 34. That means it becomes non-compliant. So you can keep viewing that. If it is a compliant stock, let's say it is, if it is a non-compliant stock, the debt ratio is 34%, let's say, or 35%, let's say, and we see a trend that the prices are increasing, the market cap has a trend of increasing, the 3-year average market cap, it is likely that in a couple of weeks or couple of days, the ratio becomes 33 and this becomes compliant. So in that sense, also, you will see that, okay, what's on? Yes. In that sense, you will see that over there, we will show that the compliance risk ratio is low. That means being non-compliant has a very little weightage for it. Very soon, inshallah, it will become compliant. So through that parameter, you can figure out whether you should be invested in that stock in the long run or in the short run. All right. Let's go to the next one. Ayad has asked us, do you follow the criteria of AOFI? Okay. Now, regarding AOFI, I'll take a couple of more minutes and then explain you about what is AOFI and how are we different, complementing, or are we an extension of that. First statement is neither a yes or a no. AOFI criteria sets the baseline for anybody to figure out themselves what stocks can be compliant and what is not. So AOFI sets the criteria. So AOFI sets the law in some sense. Okay. The AOFI standard, which talks about Sharia compliant equity stocks, is Sharia standard number 21, financial papers and bonds. This was passed or adopted in the year 2004, and to my knowledge, there has been no updates to that as of now. Now, what I understand and what our Sharia scholars understand is that AOFI has given a base criteria for all those individuals or financial institutions which do not have a Sharia board or an active Sharia board to discuss current issues in screening and implement that in the screening. As we have said, Islamicly has the good fortune of working with a Sharia scholars board, which we have been working for more than 2 decades now, alhamdulillah. And our scholars consist of such people who have been part or are currently also part of the AOFI standard setting board. If you go to the AOFI website, you can see in the Sharia in the Sharia Standards Committee, right? You can see names of Dr. Muhammad Al-Ghari. He is currently also part of the Sharia Standards Board of AOFI. He is also our company chairman. Sorry, our Sharia board chairman, not the company chairman. Sorry, let me be very clear. He's also our Sharia board chairman. So we have a complementing association with AOFI. But yes, all current issues in screening have gone to the Sharia board, and hence our Sharia criteria is an extension or a detail of what the AOFI standards are. So short answer, yes, we do follow AOFI, but it is an extension or a more detailed approach from that criteria. Like for example, AOFI tells you that the financial ratio for debt is debt divided by market capitalization. What is that market capitalization? Is it today's market capitalization? Is it a week's market capitalization? Is it a month market capitalization? A year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? No idea. Okay. Our Sharia board has looked into research, has looked into what is a stable assessment factor for doing this. We've presented them massive amounts of data, and basis that they have educated that yes, we should use the 3-year average market capitalization. As you can see, it's an extension of the AOFI criteria. It's not divergent to it. So that answers your question. Anybody who does screening on their own without asking Sharia scholars is going to follow AOFI criteria. So that's a standard. But screening as a sector is increasing, is developing, is evolving. So you need a Sharia scholars board to guide you in that. And that's what Islamicly has. The best pioneering Islamic scholars in the world. You can watch their video, what they say about Islamicly on the Islamicly YouTube channel. Let's move on. Ejaz is again, another brother Ejaz has asked us, from education point of view, do you have an objective of educating people on Sharia compliance? 100%. This webinar is in our series of education. The next one we'll have a only AMA session. If you see, we will restart sending you emails on a daily basis, which talks to you about certain rules of trading. Inshallah, on the article section, we will give you all the information as to how to trade, all the questions that have been asked to us till now. You will also have access to a couple of YouTube videos that inshallah we'll start producing. Yes, our aim is to educate the audiences as well. It's just not giving them a tool. So not only education also. So we'll not just tell you about these AMAs. We'll not just tell you about these YouTube videos. We give you tools and actionable tools through which you can practically manage your Sharia compliant portfolios as well. So we believe in education and tools. So we believe in knowledge empowerment and tools empowerment as well. So it goes hand in hand. That's the power of Islamicly. Okay, Hasnain Jafri has asked me, can we see the screen and the demonstrator's face? I'm not that smart. I'm not that handsome looking. Islamicly portal is the main thing that you should be able to see. Aslam has asked, we need independence among different portfolios. I can have the same stock. Yes, Aslam bhai. Brother Aslam, you asked a very important question. It's already part of a feedback. So what he says is, let's say you have Apple in portfolio 1 and you have Apple in portfolio 2. Currently in the holdings, There's only one line item of Apple with only one price, which averages out everything. Yes, our development team has taken this feedback. We will give you separate line items for Apple in portfolios. So in portfolio 1, Apple you bought at $100, it will be shown that way. In portfolio 2, you bought Apple at $200, it will be shown as $200 separately. This feature is coming up. That's part of our development pipeline. Okay, brother Shire or Shahir has said that, Assalamu alaikum. My question is, I traded ExxonMobil in June without checking if it's Sharia compliant or not, because I checked in April that it was Sharia compliant. So I made a profit on a non-Sharia compliant stock. What should I do with that profit? Okay. First thing, if you did something before you knew it, okay, you can take the view that I was ignorant about it. Okay. That's one part of it. But now that you have Islamicly, now that you have the tool, now that in Islamicly you can come and check the history as to when it was compliant and when it is non-compliant, the basic rules have already been given out that if you invest in a non-compliant stock, you have 7 days to get out of that stock. Okay. Any gain that you make on this stock, gain, okay, not the entire sale value, any gain that you make on this stock has to be completely donated to charity. That is the basic rule. Now, the other rule is if you invest in a Sharia compliant stock and it subsequently turns non-compliant, because compliance can change basis its financial ratios or the company changing its business structure. So if you invest in a Sharia compliant stock and it subsequently changes its compliance status, you have 90 days to trade out of that stock. Okay. Any gain that you get from the day it turned non-compliant, that has to be purified. All of these answers are also on the forum. In many times we've answered this on the forum. You can definitely go on the forum and check for these answers. It is well written, detailed with examples. So you can definitely get more information from there. Inshallah, in our development pipeline, we are going to automate this as well. So once you add a stock into your portfolio and you add all of these things, it will keep checking what's compliant and non-compliant. Today, it just tells you that it's non-compliant, this has turned non-compliant, and you have to sell it out, right? We will give you the entire calculation also. We will give you countdown as well. We will give you a calendar alert as well that you have to sell this on this date and this amount has to be purified. That's the kind of development we are doing at the back end. Inshallah, very soon you'll get that. Hasnain Jafri has asked us, can we also talk about the new functionalities in pipeline? I'm already speaking about it as we go along. Brother Naveed had asked us, is Islamicly only for data view or we can do investment through this app? Our view as of now on this is people who are used to trading on a particular brokerage platform, we don't want to get them from there and start telling them to trade from my platform. Secondly, we are not experts in developing that platform. Okay. Thirdly, we do not want to be influenced by whether a stock is gaining, losing, or flat. We are a research company which is focusing on the Sharia compliance of things. We want to be independent of the investment part. That is one. But yes, inshallah, in the future, we will give you such tools through which if you trade through your broker, your portfolios and your positions will get synced on Islamicly as well. This is also in the pipeline, but this will take slightly more time. So Islamicly as of now is an information portal. You can manage everything on the Islamicly platform. You can go and trade on your broker platform. You can come back and sync it or download your Excel sheet at the end of the day from your broker platform, upload it on Islamicly, it will get synced. As of now, you can do that. That's where the scrapbook is. That's where your portfolio also allows uploading the Excel option. Use that. Adnan Sheikh had asked me, can I sell and purchase shares on daily basis? We've answered the question about intraday trading just before that. Plus on the forum, there are a lot of questions which we have answered as to what are the rules of intraday trading. Brother Tausif will ask me, what about the stockbroker who take the commission on online as well as offline basis, because it also haram? I'm not sure what this question is. If you can send it on the forum, we'll do some research and then answer you for that. Muhammad Tamim Tanwar has asked, sir, if I have invested 100 rupees in a company and I sell it at 120 rupees, then I have to purify 20 rupees in Purify tab by inputting with date and amount 20 or 120 rupees. None of the above. There are so many questions on the forum which talks about purification. There is a YouTube video which talks about how purification has to happen. Please go over there and have a look. In short, to answer your question, I am assuming you have invested in a stock which was compliant. If yes, 100 rupees you invested, your return, your total sell on this was 120. While it was compliant, the whole 120 is Sharia compliant for you. The 20 rupees gain that you can retain, no need for purification on that. Dividend purification is applicable on the dividends that you get from the company. So every company annually, quarterly, semi-annually declares a dividend. When that money comes into your account, that amount has to be input in the dividend purification calculator, and that amount has to be purified. Dividend purification is not applicable on the capital gains. Clear? Even more details are available on the forum. Brother Hassam had asked, if a stock is not Sharia compliant, does your app give us similar Sharia compliant alternatives? Yes, as you can see, we have a recommendation tab, as you have seen in the universe. Over there, you can see if you click on any of the stocks, it will give you matching recommendation as well. We're improving the algorithm as we go along. Inshallah, it will get better as we go along. Basis your research, we were improving the algorithm at the back end. Brother Talha has asked us, is trading in penny stocks Sharia compliant? If it's compliant on Islamically, as per our research, whether it's a penny stock or it's a large cap, it should be compliant. Emmy says, tell me about intraday trading in India. I have covered a lot of things already. Brother Tausif has again asked us, can I sell my share on daily basis? It's your share. If you hold it, if you're owner, you can sell it. Faiz Khan has said that, can I search by top performers in each segment? Yes. In the advanced filter, you can search by segment and gainers. It will give you the result. Brother Naveed says that put some filter to identify permanent Sharia compliant stocks and those who changing daily. If stocks changing daily from compliant and non-compliant, then what is the meaning of investing? Brother Naveed, stocks don't change on a daily basis. That means today is compliant, tomorrow is non-compliant, day after tomorrow again it's become non-compliant. It doesn't happen that way. Compliance and that's the reason we use a 3-year average market capitalization. So compliances can change for 2 reasons. One is sector, the other is financial ratios. Financial ratios is based on the market price. For market price, we use a 3-year average market price. So it is stable. So it doesn't change very frequently. That is one. 2, financial ratios are dependent also on the debt, cash, and account receivables. Listed companies disclose this information every quarter. So the numerator as well changes every quarter. So at least you get a quarter in most cases. Now, even if the business sector of the company changes, if they disclose it in a quarter report, then only we'll be able to know that the business segment has changed, or the business has taken on an interest bearing or a non-permissible activity. Hence, the sector will become from compliant to non-compliant. So compliances are usually stable, but you need to monitor it so that you can always know that you're always in compliance. And hence, you should be on Islamically, add portfolios, check on the app, daily basis we get an update. What has become compliant, what has become non-compliant. You can take opportunities available as well. So if your watch list is long enough, you will get an alert instantly that this watch list that you were following was non-compliant, became compliant. Go ahead and trade in that. Brother Muhammad has asked us that for beginner learner in stock market in India like me, your subscription charges are too high. I think we have very rational pricing. We keep giving up such offers as well for knowledge, in exchange of knowledge as well. Inshallah, as we have more and more subscribers, we will inshallah look into pricing as well. Shahir says that a company called Pfizer, we don't have a lot of time, but I'll quickly move through the questions now. Company says Pfizer is Sharia compliant in Islamically, and in some other app, it is non-compliant. Two reasons again. One is the criteria can be different. So the criteria that they use for assessing compliance can be different. That's one. The second is research. Whether they have done their research properly, are they disclosing the research properly, have they understood the business segment properly, have they updated the research properly, or have we updated the research properly? That's why the conflict would come. Pfizer, we have double checked that why it's compliant and everything seems to be in order. Hence it's compliant because we use a 3-year average market cap. Ask those guys why it is non-compliant in them. Brother Aslam has asked, is there a discount to buy screening for all or multiple markets? We can't give screening for all the markets to a single user. It also, because there's a lot of data that we have. If we give it out like this for all the markets, then what's the value add that we'll be creating for all the users? Max 5 markets is what you can subscribe to. Every additional market that you subscribe to gets you additional discount. So the first market is full priced. The second market is a discount. Third market is also at a discount. Fourth is also a discount. Fifth is also a discount. The discount varies between 25 to 50% depending on market to market. Brother Ahmed Haq says, Moderna is halal at your place, but not at Zoya. Brother, if you go on the app, if you go to the article section, there is a very detailed write-up that we have done on why Moderna is Sharia compliant, the principles of research, the Sharia scholars' intent, and this is a very, very exciting thing that I need to tell you. And this is what also is an extension of the previous question that do we follow AOFE or not? Now, AOFE criteria tells you that 5% non-permissible income is allowed. Now, that is the wordings of AOFE criteria. We went back and asked the scholars who were part of that AOFE discussion when the AOFE standard was set, right? I can name those scholars as well. Dr. Muhammad Al-Ghari is on our board. I can name him. Yes, he was also part of that discussion when the AOFE standard was set. They have clearly indicated to us that the intention of the scholars was never to include all incomes in the permissible threshold, in the non-permissible threshold of 5%. There has to be a division between operating incomes and non-operating incomes. For sector compliances, operating income should be less than 5% from non-permissible sources. Non-operating, non-permissible income is not accounted for sector compliance. But both of these non-permissible incomes get combined for dividend purification calculation. So the interest income that they get from non-operating activities gets counted, and you need to purify it when you get a dividend from that company, because that dividend that you receive from the company includes this non-permissible income part as well. Hence, the total has to be purified. The ratio that you see on Islamicly app or on the desktop is the combination of operating and non-operating. Now, because of this confusion, because people might not have asked the Sharia scholars as to what the treatment is, or might not have asked those Sharia scholars who have in the first place created the AOFE rules, there is confusion on such stocks. If you read that article, it's a big read. It tells you clearly that just because of this confusion, just because people do not or might not, I would not say do not, might not have asked the right scholars, they have classified more than 351 companies as non-compliant, which are compliant on Islamicly. Because of that correct application of principles, which is not our interpretation, which is the interpretation of the scholars who set the rules in the first place. Hence, Islamically research is a very deep-rooted thing. I will take you through one of our internal tools also if time permits, or inshallah next time I'll show you our internal tool as to how we actually do research, how credible we are, and how we get information back onto you. I'll inshallah get there. Brother Ejaz has asked us in a couple of questions on dividend purification. At what process you decide the purification percentage? As I said, we look through all the incomes of the company, all the non-permissible incomes from an operating perspective, all the non-permissible income from a non-operating perspective. You add that, you divide it by the total income of the company, that gets you the ratio. That ratio you have to apply on the dividends that you receive from the company. How to do it, I have showed you while I gave you a demo of the app, demo of the desktop version. There's a video on YouTube also which shows you how to do it on the app. That's how dividend purification is calculated. Okay, question in CNC delivery as we can sell shares. Okay, brother Mazhar Abdul Aziz Arai has asked me a question again on intraday trading. All the rules are there on the in the discussion forum that we have given. Inshallah, we'll create a separate section for trading rules and we'll publish that very soon. That's also in the pipeline. So brother Mazhar Abdul Aziz Arai, you can go through the intraday trading forum discussion, then you'll get the answer. Brother Tausif has asked us how I get to know about stock which are 100% halal. We have done that screening as well. Hence, you get that filter on the advanced filter section. But unfortunately, it's not available in all the markets. Most of the 100% Sharia compliant stocks are there in the Gulf region, that is in the GCC region. Some of them are in Pakistan as well. Some of them are there in Indonesia as well. We've got a couple of them in Turkey as well. But in the West, hardly any. Or I would say that none for that matter. What are 100% halal stocks? They need to have 100% all of their incomes coming in from Sharia compliant sources. That is the first criteria. Whether operating or non-operating, everything should be Sharia compliant. Not even $1 should come in from non-permissible income. That is the revenue criteria. For the financial things, all of the financials, that is the debt, the cash, and the accounts receivables should be invested or should have been raised in a Sharia compliant manner. Or they should be interest free. If company qualifies for this, then it is classified as 100% Sharia compliant. A lot of questions on intraday trading. You can go through the forum. I've already covered it in this discussion. But yes, do go through the forum discussion. A lot of good information is available over there. Inshallah, we'll also create YouTube videos about these topics and publish it and write articles about this as well. Okay, please elaborate on purification ratio. I have answered the purification ratio question, brother Abu Bilal. Faiz Khan has asked, how does it change from red to green and vice versa? If it becomes compliant, it becomes green. If it changes to red, it becomes non-compliant. Depends on two things. As I said, sector or financials. Brother Shahid had asked me, do you have any special offer for students whose capital is so low? Get in touch with our customer support and inshallah we'll try and do something. Brother Amir says that he subscribed to Islamicly. Jazakallah, Brother Amir. And he wants to know if real-time stock pricing will be available. Inshallah, as I said, on certain areas, you will get very close to real-time pricing available. And in the universe, it will be about 15-minute delay pricing. Brother Aslam, I have answered your question regarding the same stock. in 2 different portfolios and 2 different pricing. Inshallah, you'll see that very soon. Mazhar Abdul Aziz has posted a question again. Brother Talha has asked me, have you consulted with Mufti Taqi Usmani from Pakistan at all on stocks and investing? As of now, no. But a couple of our Sharia scholars who are on our Sharia board do sit on other Sharia boards where Mufti Taqi Usmani sits, a very, very revered scholar. Inshallah, someday, as Islamically popularity increases through your efforts, we will get in touch with him, inshallah, someday. Or if any one of you wants to present Islamically to him, please do that, and we'll be happy to engage with Taqi Usmani Saab as well. May Allah give him good health. Brother Muhammad said, is Islamically following S&P or AOFI? The financial ratios of Islamically seems different from AOFI. Yes, there's slight difference between AOFI and our criteria, which is similar to S&P criteria in terms of ratios. But as I said, and as I explained, our criteria is more dynamic. It takes into account current issues in screening. It is an extension of the AOFI criteria. It's not divergent. It's an extension of AOFI criteria. Brother Ahmed Haq says, yes, 3-year average market capitalization helps in unprecedented times. Yes, your observation is absolutely right. As you can see in these times, which are today's times, the 3-year market average capitalization has helped. Not many stocks have turned non-compliant because of the falling market prices. Brother Osama says, sir, many shares in compliance has debt to equity ratio more than 0.4. So you mean to say that there are companies which have debt to equity ratio in excess of 33% and they're compliant on Islamically? If there are any, if we have made a mistake, please put a discussion under that stock and we will reply to that immediately. We have a quality assurance team as well. So there may be an issue in terms of how you're calculating the market cap or how you're calculating the debt. It's a 3-year market capitalization, a 3-year average market capitalization, and the debt has to be interest bearing, including short and long term. So there may be issue in terms of how you're calculating it, but we appreciate these questions. We want such questions to come to us. We want people to challenge our compliances. Please do start a discussion on that or request a screening for that stock, and we will reply to that, inshallah, very, very soon. Brother MUZADDED. Okay, I'm sorry I can't pronounce that thing. I apologize that. So his question is, how did you get this rule for 7 days and 90 days and all these processes from? Means to say, what is the Islamic rules and regulations? What is the hadith? I mean, what is the authenticity? Thank you. Brother, all of these rules have been set by Sharia scholars by over a huge amount of discussion in the past 20 years. More than 20 years. Some of them do not require a very solid base in the ahadith. Okay, like for example, when a stock turns non-compliant, okay, when you ask us that why 7 days allowed, okay, it's just reasonable amount of time that you should have an urgency of stopping things that has become non-Sharia. Hence 7 days. Okay, so it's a week's time. Plus, we also tell, the scholars also tell that the day it turned non-compliant, from the very next day, whatever is the gains has to be purified. That means everything has to be purified from the time it turns non-compliant. So 7 days is just a technical thing for ease, for liquidity purposes. You're not able to sell a stock. There are no buyers of that. So 7 days is given as a reasonable time, but the urgency is also mentioned at 7 days. Now, if a stock and the 90-day period is to give you again a reasonable amount of time, which is a quarter-based time, to view if it turns back non-compliant, if it turns back to compliance, sorry. These are all basis practices in the market, basis how feasible things are. Rules of Sharia on the equity trading side have to be a mix of both. Practically what you can do and the Sharia basis of it. We can't create Sharia rules which are practically impossible to follow. That's the basis. Apart from that, the entire Sharia screening space is an evolving space, right? Today, the Sharia scholars are saying 7 and 90, right? Inshallah, if this thing grows, tomorrow they start saying, no, brother, 3 days for the first criteria and probably 60 days for the next one. And then just 1 day here and 30 days over there. As we grow, as our Muslims start investing more and more, we become a sizable portion of the entire global financial space. We can make the screening even more stringent, because then we will have power as well in terms of influencing the decisions of the companies. To give you an example, 40% of entire stocks in the world are Sharia compliant. So that gives about $30 to $40 trillion of stocks which are Sharia compliant. What is the amount of Sharia compliant investments today in equities? Just about 100 billion. Just about 100 billion. That's very low. Abdul Basit Badar asked the question, if suppose I invested in non-Sharia compliant stocks, in the period of 7 days, I lost my money, whether should I sell or hold it? It's always better to sell it. But if you want to hold it, it's a tricky situation. Actually, in the pandemic situation, there could be some relaxation which could be given. But follow the rule as a standard. If you invest in a stock, it has turned non-compliant. You have 90 days. If you invested in a non-compliant stock and lost money, it's best to sell it right away. Even if you made a loss, sell it. Do not be invested in a non-compliant stock. Sorry. Brother Muhammad Tamim is asking, sir, how can we know about dividends given by a company? Your stockbroking account will have an update on that. Brother Ahmad had asked us, would it be possible to make a comparison between another app with Islamicly, since many people have doubts why it is non-compliant as per that app and compliant as per Islamicly? Brother, we do all of these things to share with you what is our knowledge, what is our credibility, how we are doing research, and how we are presenting it. Ask these same questions to the other people. Make your own judgment. We welcome more people coming into this industry. Everybody's risk is written. So there is no such thing that we are better or they are better or why is there differences. If you see a stock which is compliant with us and non-compliant with anybody else, ask them a question. Ask us the question also, that why do you think this stock is compliant over here and not there? We will be happy to answer that question. Then decide which is the correct thing. What I can say about Islamicly is we've been doing this for 20 years. We've been doing this for the most credible index providers in the world. We have been doing this in the direct supervision of Sharia scholars for the past 20 years. All our rules have been set by discussing issues with Sharia scholars over the past 20 years. That's what our credibility is. Hundreds of examples as to how to understand this stock, how to understand that stock. For example, you've seen the example of Moderna. How did we know Moderna is Sharia compliant? We have absolutely nothing to do with Moderna. Or why would biotechnology companies be compliant? What is the treatment of IPO companies? What is the treatment of subsidiary to parent relationship? What is the treatment of finance lease, as accounting standard for that has changed? What is the treatment of doing things for medical research? What are the tricky areas when you're doing a real estate company? What are the tricky areas when you're doing a biotechnology company? What are the tricky areas when you're doing a retail grocery store? What are the tricky areas when you're doing a technology company? What are the tricky areas when you're doing an e-commerce company? If you see, all of these have come through research and have come through experience. That's what Islamicly brings to you. I can say only about us. I can't say anything about anybody else. Brother Osama is asking, sir, is Ashok Leyland Sharia compliant? Check on the app. Brother Hassam says that the phone app, the application, give you compliant alternatives. No, we have limited real estate over there. It's most of these functions are on the desktop. But Abdul Rahman says if you can share the video of the webinar, all webinar videos are always available on the app, on the YouTube channel. Brother Feroz says, why is your app not using standard iPhone payment gateway? It's very expensive. But yes, if you have a question regarding security, that where is the credit card information being saved, we are using the most reliable, the best secured payment network, which is Stripe. You can go to Stripe network and see what is their security features. It is as safe as anybody else can make it safe. So it is Stripe network that we use at the back end to collect payments. It is one of the most secured networks available in the market. So we have invested on that so that your credit card information is absolutely safe from even accessing by us. Even we don't know what is the information. It's encrypted both ways. Adnan Sheikh says, again, a question about intraday trading. Your question is answered on our forum. But yes, he said, as soon as I get a message from my broker that your trade is executed, yes, you become a buyer. Yes, you can go ahead and sell it. But the Muhammad Khurram says, it would be great if you put this difference between Islamicly and Zoya on your YouTube channel. As I said, brother, we can say good things about us. We can say what we are, whether good or bad. I can't make a comparison between what my screening is and what anybody else's screening is. If you feel my screening, if you feel Islamically screening, if you feel our team screening is not correct, ask us a question. We'll send you a reply. If you are a subscriber, we answer all the questions and we have a timeline to answer these questions. Again, I repeat, check who has a long-standing history on this. Check who has the most credible Sharia board. Check who gives you all the information in a transparent manner. I give you one small tip. There are 3 parts to Sharia screening: sector, financial ratios, and purification. Which app gives you all 3? If somebody is not giving you one, that means entire screening is not complete. Which app gives you a definite compliance status? Because we have researched that thing. Go with that app. Which Sharia Scholars Board is the most credible? Which Sharia Scholars Board has spent years researching Islamic finance? Which Sharia Scholars Board is the most accepted Sharia Scholars Board globally? Go with that app. Which screening provider focuses on the sector screening and not on financials? Financial screening is just getting inputs from all these financial service providers, making a quality and analyst look at that and giving you that. The magic is in sector screening. The magic is in understanding the criteria. Go with that app, go with that desktop platform which understands these things. Go with that app which believes in transparency. Go with that app which gives you knowledge as well. Go with that app which is open to come in front of you and take your questions openly. Go with that app, whichever you think it does these things. That's my opinion. Brother Faiz Khan says, I'm trying to get the subscription done, but it's not taking. Get in touch with the chat function over there. Our team is definitely available. They'll help you out. If your card has any problems or if a payment gateway has any problem, we have alternates as well available for that. So Brother Faiz Khan, if you can get in touch with the chat or on the WhatsApp, our team will be able to help you. Brother Talha says, is there a way for us to easily manually screen stocks ourselves? Yes. Subscribe to Islamicly. Easiest way to find out what stock is Sharia compliant or not. Huge amount of investment in research is brought to you for as low as $6 a month. Huge amount of investment. The easiest way to do it is subscribe to Islamicly app. Marketing talk. Emmy says, sorry, I just joined. Can you tell us about something about intraday? I think I would have answered that. Abu Bilal says, what is the YouTube channel? It's Islamicly.com. Just search on YouTube. It's named Islamicly.com itself. Very simple. I will end this in 5 minutes. It's already quite late. Brother Faiz Khan has again put a query that the payment is not going through. Please get in touch with the customer support through the chat function or the WhatsApp thing that you have on the app itself. Brother Muhammad Khurram says that rather than us versus them, can I put the differences between AOFI and the S&P criteria on our YouTube channel? Inshallah, we can talk about that. Comparison of criteria as well is something which is available. We can talk, but we are not saying that criteria is going to be wrong or our criteria is correct. We just see the differences and why we think that what I mean, we, our scholars, think that this should be the criteria. I can give you that reasoning. For that, for what has been done with what other people use, you'll have to ask them. And with this, I think I have covered all the questions as well. We're always available. You can access us through the WhatsApp channel that we have. You can access us through the chat channel. We are constantly innovating. We are constantly working hard to bring you knowledge as well as tools. Emmy has again asked us, tell me something on intraday trading. Emmy, if you go on the forum section of Islamicly, there are so many questions about intraday. I have answered the questions over there. Basically, I will again ask you this, again tell you the intraday trading rules. Intraday trading is permissible subject to certain conditions. All those conditions are available on the forum section. Have a look at that. Brother Feroz says, where are you based? Brother Feroz, take a guess. Everybody knows where are we based. Okay, so don't worry about that. We're a multi-location team. Our Sharia scholars are from multi-locations. We meet in one place on a defined frequency. That's one. Two, we have our management teams and our research teams spread across the world. That's the second thing. The app and the research is available for the globe. So we cover almost all countries in the world where there are stock exchanges. Yes, we cover a lot of large caps. We cover a lot of mid caps or small caps. Penny stocks, we may not have very good coverage, but as we are speaking, by the hour, our coverage is increasing. We're working on it. We have a research team dedicated to increasing the coverages, and that's how it is. And I think that should be all. We have already exceeded our time limit by about 26 minutes. Please do join us on our next AMA. We will be happy to answer questions again. I would recommend that you go through our articles, you go through our forum section, you go through our knowledge series that we have, you go through our YouTube videos. Most of your questions will get answered. Emmy has asked us last minute question that, can you help which Indian stocks are halal? You have thousands of Indian stocks which are halal. Just go on the app, take up a subscription. Instantly, you will get list of all Sharia compliant stocks in India. Well researched, backed by Sharia scholars' knowledge. Thousands of stocks in India Sharia compliant. About 45% of Indian market is 40% of Indian market is Sharia compliant overall. The biggest one, I'll give you a tip: Reliance is non-compliant because it fails the debt ratio. But as Reliance has said that they will reduce their debt, inshallah, when they do that, it can become compliant. But when it happens, we'll do it at that point in time. Thanks a lot. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving your time for Islamicly. Thank you for trusting us. We will endeavor to always answer your questions clearly, transparently, and with the entire focus being getting you answers from the Sharia scholars. There is no interpretation by us. We are just executives in this field. Yes, experienced executives in this field. Everything is backed by the Sharia scholars. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for subscribing to Islamicly. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for trusting us. And we have been very, very fortunate that we are getting a huge amount of interest from all corners of the world. We have people using us from Nigeria, people using us from Egypt, the Gulf countries, US, Canada, Mexico, everywhere, Russia, Denmark, UK, Netherlands, yes, Germany, France, Indonesia, Malaysia, India, how can I forget that? Australia, you name a country and we've got people loving us out there. Thank you for all the love. Keep putting all the love. It is essential that we have a good amount of subscriptions so that we continue doing this work. We continue investing in good research, continue investing in good resources. Thank you. We will have these sessions on different time zones on every Saturday. So if you have any questions and if you think that you want to have a direct interaction like this, we will send out notifications about on the app as well. Please do keep subscribing, even if you don't have big budgets or whatever is an annual packs. Although we are giving a discount on the annual pack, start slow. Start on the subscription-based, monthly-based things. You will get the hang of things. And inshallah, let us pray that may Allah guide all of us first, so that we can do good research, honest to God research, and give you all the information that you require for Shariah compliance, give you all the tools, make our app better. Inshallah, we want, with your support, Islamically to become a benchmark for all Shariah compliant investors, to become a global force for the world to look that we can create a Sharia-based, a Sharia compliant, research-backed, top-class product which can compete with any non-conventional thing in the world. That's the intention, and we look forward to your support. We look forward to you coming on board. We look forward to your feedback, and we look forward to everything, small or big, that you have to suggest to us. We're open about it. Islamically is being built as a community project. We want the community to help us grow, help us better ourselves. We are committed to providing you top-class information in this field. We want to be the benchmark for this, for the world and future generations to come as well. Let's pray, inshallah, that Allah helps us in this, helps you as well in terms of making good returns on your investments in a Sharia compliant manner. Jazakallah khair. I'm logging out. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum.